So how can an AI voice agent save you time and make you more money in 2025? Well, going beyond being able to answer FAQs, which is a key functionality of an inbound voice agent, what AI voice agents are also really good for, given where the tech is currently, is being able to set appointments. So being able to go onto your calendar, for example, and determine what the availability is, and then book an appointment, whether it's for a tour or it's for a checkup or whatever that function might be for the business that you run. So in this video, I'm going to be showing the system prompt and demonstrating what it looks like and going through the functions that you need to put in place for an AI voice agent built within Retell that can go about the process of checking to see what appointments are available and then booking in an appointment for, in this case, a midterm rental property. What's really cool about Retell is the fact that it has integrated into it cow.com, and so you're able to natively book appointments via the calendar that's already integrated. But what's also helpful with cow.com is that cow.com connects to a bunch of other platforms like Google Calendar. And so when the agent is checking for a time on your calendar, or you're thinking about how this agent is integrated with other third-party platforms, cow.com actually makes the agent's life, if you will, easier because of a lot of the connected integrations. So before we get into this, the system prompt that I put together for this midterm rental property that I'll walk through, you'll be able to find it within the Pinterest Club, which is our AI community where you can find templates, tutorials, and other resources for your AI journey. But otherwise, if all of this sounds good to you, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, and let's get right into this tutorial. All right, so to just go about walking through the system prompt here. So this is for a midterm rental property. So if you think about short-term rentals like Airbnb, where people stay for a day or two or more, midterm rental, you're looking at more than a month. And so this would be a demo for someone who would be looking to book a tour at this property before they actually book the stay at the property. And so some of the phrasing that I have here and aspects to keep in mind include the casual fillers. So within here, I have the agent named Mira, the concierge, and I put here to use casual fillers like sure thing, let me check, gotcha. This helps with making the agent come across as more natural, less robotic when you have these kind of fillers, because no one kind of speaks perfect straight through. And then in this case, we're doing an appointment setting agent. So this agent will be able to check your calendar and then actually book in the appointment from the communication that happens. And so within Retell, there are different functions here. So you have the check calendar availability function. You have a book on the calendar function. You have a function end call. You have a function that transfer calls over to a human function that can send out text messages. So the different functions that Retell enable. In this case, we're paying attention to the check availability and the book appointment function. End call is just always going to be there because of course we want the calls to end. And these functions, just to speak on them, it's really just the idea. It's what's called tool calling. So it has at its disposal these different abilities that is outside of the platform itself. So it is able to go into, in this case, cow.com and check the appointment, go into cow.com and book the appointment. And as I mentioned in the intro to this, cow.com, and if I pull that up here, you'll see that cow.com has different integrations. So it can integrate with, for example, your payment system, Stripe. It can integrate with Google Calendar, which is, we already have that integrated here, Google Meet, Zoom, it can integrate with a bunch of different platforms. In this case, what we care about is Google Calendar, which a lot of us use. And so when the agent is checking to see the availability, it's going to actually check your Google Calendar. So if you have a Google Calendar that's, let's say, filled to the brim, the agent will be able to identify that uh, those times that are already booked on your Google Calendar are unavailable. So by being able to connect to cal.com through Retell, you're also able to meet the needs of your Google Calendar. And so the way you create these functions, so let's take the check availability function, for example. So when you pull this up, what you need is the API key from cal.com and then the event type ID for the tour that will be getting booked. So in cal.com, and if you don't already have an account, you're going to want to go ahead and create an account. You're going to create a new event. So I created one here called MTR Tour, so Midterm Rental Tour. And what's key here is you're going to want to have some sort of buffer time. So in this case, we're going to do 15-minute buffer time. So that means uh, no no booking will be able to happen within 15 minutes of each booking. And then some things to just keep in mind is if you go to advanced, you want to turn off, if these are on for these booking questions, you want to turn off these last four over here. What is the meeting about? Additional notes, because that can interfere with the agent's ability to make the booking effectively. All right, so now I mentioned you're gonna want your API key. And so if you go down to settings at the bottom left and then API keys, you can create an API key here. So you're gonna click on add and then it'll create an API key. So you title what you want the key to be. It'll give you that key and then you're gonna copy and paste that into this field over here. I'm probably gonna change my API key that I have right here just because you want to make sure you always keep that key private because it's access to your information. And so that's how you input the API key. And then the event type ID is going to be for the specific kind of booking. So again, in this case, it's the MTR tour. The event type ID, if you go to the browser, after event type, after that slash, these numbers right here, up until right before this question mark, that is the event type ID. So you're gonna copy that and then you're gonna paste it where it says event type ID. And then you can put a description here. I put when users ask for availability, check the calendar and provide available slots. And then the time zone, you're gonna wanna put your time zone here. So I believe the default that they actually have is America, Los Angeles. I'm on East Coast and we're gonna put America / new _ York for Eastern Standard Time. And then when you write in your system prompt, you want to say that always reference times in Eastern time so that when the booking is happening, it'll reference it in Eastern time so that the person on the other line understands that this is being booked in Eastern time and then they can make the translation to their time zone. Because something that can sometimes be an issue with these agents is getting the actual time right because of the way it interprets time. So that's for checking availability. And then for the book appointment function, it's going to be the same thing, same API key, same event ID, same time zone, and that's that. The end call function I just always have here, just so that the call ends after it's finished, and that's going to be it. Within cal.com, I mentioned you want to be integrated with Google Calendar, so if it's not already integrated here, you want to make sure it's connected. I already had mine connected here so that it'll check your Google Calendar. So if you look at advanced, you can see here the calendars that it's looking up on my Google Calendar here. And so that's how it'll be able to cross check. So now if we go ahead and test this out, I'm going to call the number. Thanks for reaching out to the Midterm. What can I help you with today? Yeah, so well, first of all, how are you doing? I have a group that I'm coming with to the area in a few months. I would like to just understand well, so I have a group that I'm coming with to the area in a few months. I would like to book a tour. So yeah, so we're looking at May 2026. Can you tell me what the availability is then?
Let me check what tour slots are open for May 2026. One sec. There's plenty of availability for tours in May 2026. We can do 15-minute tours any day between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern. Do you have a specific date in mind, or should I suggest a few options for you?
How about can you do super early in the morning, like I don't know, 4 a.m. on May 6th?
Tours are available between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern, so unfortunately 4 a.m. is a bit too early. Would you like to pick a time between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. on May 6th? I can suggest a few open slots if that helps.
Sure. How about maybe 10 a.m. on Friday the 8th?
Let me check if 10 a.m. is open for a tour on Friday, 2026. You're in luck. 10 a.m. is available for a tour on Friday, May 8th, 2026. Would you like me to reserve that slot for you? If so, I'll just need your full name and email spelled out to confirm.
Yeah, that would be great. So my name is Aki. That's spelled Aki. You said you need my email address too, right?
Yes, I'll need your email too. Could you please spell it out for me? Once I have that, I'll get your tour booked for May 8th at 10 a.m. Eastern.
So that's SIRAKIN as Nancy, B as in boy, at gmail.com.
Just to confirm, your name is and your email is booking your tour for May 8th at 10 a.m. Eastern now. You're all set. I've got you down for a free 15-minute tour on May 8th, 2026 at 10 a.m. Eastern. You'll get a confirmation soon.
That sounds good. I appreciate you.
Thanks. I appreciate you too. If you need anything else, just reach out. Have an awesome day and see you in May 2026.
All right, so that's how the appointment setting works. So it checks the availability. It sees that that it was open slot, calendar was free, and then it goes ahead and books the date and time. And within the system prompt, to also mention when it's taking down your name and taking down your email address, you want it to confirm the name and email address back to you, and you want the agent to ask you to spell it out so that it can input it to the calendar with the correct spelling. So you notice how I said SIR, like I actually spelled out the name and email address so that it got it down into the calendar correctly. And so that's how this works, checking and booking the appointments. There's more that you can do when it comes to appointment setting and management, and we'll get into that in future videos. Canceling appointments, rescheduling appointments, but this is sort of this next step when it comes to AI voice agents. You got FAQs, you've got booking appointments, and we'll continue on from there. I'll see you guys next time.